Hey guys, welcome in. Another This Might Hurt coming at you. I did not do this morning because I don't know why. And all day I've been thinking I needed to do it and didn't feel like doing it. And then finally, I don't know, I just felt like doing it. So I don't know. It's been a weird day. I haven't really felt good. I think something's going around the where I work. I've just been kind of resting all day. I got to head on some homework. Did a FaceTime call with my daughter. We were trying to get my son in there, but to no avail. That's okay. He's doing his own thing. And yeah, I've been watching, I don't know if you guys watch Apple TV, but I've been watching that show. It's Shrinking or something like that. I don't know, with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford, and kind of been binge watching that today, which is, as a counselor, makes me laugh. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know, got inspired or whatever to go ahead and do the reading today. I was contemplating just not doing it, but anyway, here we are and here we go. So it's a little late in the day, so I don't know that it's necessarily energies for today, but it's definitely energies for whenever you get the message, right? Whenever you see this is when you're meant to see it. And the day doesn't have to be daytime, right? It could be evening, whatever, 24 hours. I don't know. Anyway, let's get some energies. I'm a little out of sorts today. We've got the Hanged Man. Looking at things from a different perspective, right? And I like that there's a bird there because there's always a message. In this one, he's hanging by one foot with his hands behind his back. When your hands are behind your back, I feel like that means you're hiding something. And then his legs in the shape of a 4, right? That's just how I see it, which is stability. But and the enlightenment, or the sun around his head. He does have his eyes closed, and I love that he looks like Paul Bunyan. I don't know the meaning of that, but looking at things from a different perspective, and maybe that's what is needed, right? To just retreat, relax, see what's up, go with the flow, and just surrender, right? Just surrender to the things. We've kind of been having a little bit of a theme of surrender lately, and just surrendering and look at things from a different perspective. See what's what. I know my personal situation is continues to be frustrating at best, and it's interesting to see the dynamics, to see the behaviors, the communication styles, the things that I hadn't seen before play out. I was telling my daughter today I wanted to put my screen back up on the door. I have like a magnetic screen thing that velcros into the door, and she was like, "Why'd you take it down?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't know. I think I took it down because somebody else didn't like it." And so noticing that some of that people pleasing is still there. Right. And not blaming the person, right? Blaming myself, because if it's not their fault that I felt like I had to people please. But anyway, I digress. Let's keep going. We have the Hanged Man with the perspective shift. And what else? What else do we have? 9 of Wands, overthinking things. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So the legacy. I think this is more like breaking the legacy. Well, let's start back over here. The 9 of Wands. So boundaries and overthinking is what I always look at with the 9 of Wands. But I like that this one is in using pens and pencils, because he is literally writing his own story. But you can get so involved in the story that you can't see it, right? I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and telling her, I have certain friends that I can be brutally honest with, and I know that they'll accept it with the love in which I'm giving it. Other people in my life, not so much. But, she's the friend I was talking to is very self-aware and very willing to look at herself in that way. And she was like, "How did I not see this?" And I'm like, "Because you're too close, right? You're too close. You can't see the forest through the trees." But when you write it out and you write it down and you go back and you look later, it'll make more sense. And I feel like that's what this is. So just kind of, take the perspective shift, write it down, get it out, right? She suffers from crippling anxiety. And she's like, "What do I do?" And I was like, "Call me, text me, leave me a voicemail, write it down, do something to get it out." But you don't have to perpetuate the same cycles over and over again. Like, how can we interrupt the pattern here? Right? How can we interrupt the legacy? How can we do it different from the way it was left for us? Ten of Pentacles is about legacy. It's about, in the upright, it's about family and ancestry and all the things. But Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, I think, is just breaking those generational curses. I don't necessarily look at it as a bad thing. If I was to look at the keywords, which I will do now, just because I know it's not what it's going to say. Family tension and instability. I don't think it's that. And maybe, if you're breaking generational curses, if you're doing things, setting new boundaries, looking at things from a different perspective and doing things your way and forging your own path, then it is going to cause some sort of family instability, because that's what it's going to take to break those generational curses or karma or patterns or whatever words you want to insert there. But it's necessary, right? It's necessary. Give me one more card. Lovers. We've got the Lovers, the self-love, right? The authenticity, pure authenticity, and being unapologetic for it. This also came with the Seven of Cups in the reverse, which we got that a few times this week. But that comes with clarity, right? And authenticity. And just knowing what you know because you know it. Because you are strong enough and you have enough self-love, self-worth, self-awareness to do the thing. To do the authentic thing, to break the generational pattern, to write the thing down, to look at it from a different perspective, to look at the situation with new eyes and take a step back and zoom out, if you will, and see it for what it truly is. It's not for the weak of heart to do these things, you guys. It's really not. Shadow work is incredibly gut-wrenching. Breaking family patterns that are toxic is gut-wrenching. I asked my therapist this week, there's these roles that you hear about in pop psychology today, right? The scapegoat or the truth teller and da-da-da-da. And I didn't really buy into it for a long time. And she told me, well, that's what you are, Sanora. And that's why you find yourself alone a lot. Because some families, some people, some communities just aren't ready to look at themselves the way you look at yourself. And that might be your job in the world, right? To just, shed some light into the shadows and then move on. And then move on, right? We plant the seeds and then we move on. It's not up to me to tell them what that is. It's up to them to decide if they want to see it or not. And it's gut-wrenching, right? It's a very lonely path, but a necessary one. And I would take it and I would do it 1,000,000 times over if it meant that my grandkids weren't going to have to do this. So there's that. But anyway, let's get the advice. Advice for all of this. The moon. That which is hidden will be revealed. In the quiet of the night and in the light of the moon, when we calm ourselves, we will get clarity. Now, there's two cards right now that we've had with clarity after the perspective shift and after the writing things down, after the zooming out, if you will, and the self-care, self-worth, self-love, and self-awareness, right? Just let things reveal themselves in their own time, okay? That's what we got to do, because what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is the Star, which is revealed authenticity, the perfect balance between emotion and logic. She's pouring into the earth and she's pouring into the water. And she gives no fucks, right? She gives no fucks. Now, interestingly, the 17 card, the Star, is what follows the Tower, right? And the Tower is when everything gets all shook up and everything, but it's the healing from the Tower, right? That Tower moment. It's the healing. It's the hope. It's the renewal. Hope returns, right? We've been talking a lot in our IOP this week about that movie, Hope Floats. And I can't watch that movie. I can't. It's gut-wrenching for me. It hits too close to my core wounds as a child. And so I can't watch it. But yeah, I mean, hope floats. If you think about what floating does, right? It rises to the surface of the water. And it just flows with the water. It just floats on it, right? It doesn't try to fight it. It's not water skiing. It's not paddling upstream. It's just floating. And that's what this card is, right? It's just floating, just letting that hope rise to the surface and knowing that this too shall pass and everything's going to be okay. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. You guys take care. We'll chat tomorrow.